Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the inaugural episode of the Field of 68's last call here on Stadium, on the Stadium app, streaming on the Stadium YouTube channel. We got Jeff Goodman, we got Randolph Childress. My name is Rob Dauster. Welcome. This is going to be fun, guys. This is our first episode. We used to do it the afters. It used to be called the afters, which is where we would do our Q&A every night. Now it is last call. Cheers to everyone that's going to crack their final drink here on Stadium. We're going to get to the Q&A here in a second. We spent so much time in the last hour talking to Zach Edey and talking to Matt Painter, who, by the way, I could talk to Matt Painter for 3 hours. I love that guy.
He can't talk to you.
Yeah. Oh, no, he wants –
Zach Edey as well.
Yeah, Zach Edey too. Him wearing a full blanket.
A polar bear. A polar bear.
Listen, I want to talk to you guys about Purdue Big Picture here because there's a very large part of me that thinks that we saw the best team in college basketball tonight. I love Bill Self. I love this Kansas team. That Hunter Dickinson is a very, very good piece to add to something that Bill Self does. But when you watch Purdue kind of roll in second gear and keep a Sean Miller, I know he's got a young team. I know what's going on with Xavier. I know who they're missing. They were able to keep Xavier stiff-armed, arm length for the entire game while playing like, what would you say? It was like a team for Purdue overall?
Maybe a little better than that. Maybe a little better.
I thought the game plan and Xavier was tougher than we give him credit for. I mean, the game plan was solid. It's just you're dealing with an immovable force. There's nothing you can do with this guy. I mean, he's 300 pounds.
Have you ever seen
Not in college.
like him?
Not in college.
Oh, I mean,
Not
again, like Shaq at LSU was so dominant.
Yeah, but you had a lot more of that during that time.
Yeah.
He's a throwback guy playing in a small bar era where people just don't have size and quality bigs to be able to match up with that. He's efficient. He's just got so much better. He's more effective on the defensive end. That there's no answer for him. Physically, you because you can't even simulate him in practice.
No.
Like what do you want to? How do you simulate him in practice?
You take a Mack truck and throw in the poke.
I mean, you stand on two guys on top of each other's shoulders.
What you got to do.
You just sit on each other's shoulders and rotate. I mean, you can't. I don't know how you deal with them. I think honestly, and we talked about this a second ago. I think the only real concern that they have is consistently making shots from the four spot.
Well, so let me throw this at you guys. We talked about it while we were watching the game, RC. But when you look at the way that last season ended for Purdue, right, and you look at what's on this roster right now, it's more or less the same team kind of running things back. Right? There's a couple different pieces of the switch. They brought in Lance Jones. They got the myles colvin kid, the freshman coming off the bench, right? But it's effectively the same group, and they're just kind of running things back. So I guess my question is, like, how much are you trusting this team? How much are you buying into this team? And look, talk, please. If you disagree, talk.
I completely disagree with you because I think you're underestimating the impact of Lance Jones one. I think as a secondary ball handler, even tonight, his impact on this game. If you look at the stat sheets, you wake up and look at the stat sheets, you think, oh, okay, he didn't play well. But his imprint, his impact is on that game. Just with the ability, a bit of a wild card, shooting. We joked about it. Coach Painter joked about his taking those deep threes. But he seems to be a guy that's capable of doing that. The other part of it is he's a secondary ball handler that can initiate offense, that gets in the paint, gets to the rim, he get his shot off. And when you add that into the way Smith is playing right now, the way the solid game he had, that's multiple guys, multiple handlers with the most difficult force in college basketball. Makes it tough.
You're right, 1,000%. And again, I really love the dimension Lance Jones adds. But I'll say the biggest difference also is Braden Smith and Fletcher Loyer aren't freshmen anymore.
Right.
They're not freshmen. So I think now, again, they're physically a little bit stronger. You got to remember, too, Braden Smith last year didn't play in the preseason at all. He was coming off an injury. He didn't do anything in the preseason. So, of course, he was going to wear down at the end of the year. You got the freshman wall and the fact that he was coming back from a year-long, injury.
If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use the bonus code FIELD200 and you will receive $200 in bonus bets instantly when placing your first wager of at least $10 with BetMGM. Here's what you got to do. Download the BetMGM app. Sign up using the bonus code FIELD200. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game regardless of sport. You will receive $200 in bonus bets regardless of the outcome of your wager. Just make sure that you use the bonus code FIELD200 when you sign up. And remember, BetMGM is now available under one wallet in select states. As a New Jersey resident, this is super convenient for me when I have to go cover games in New York or Philly. When crossing state borders, just log into your existing account instead of having to create new accounts in each state that you go to. And most importantly, I got to let you know, we do have some fun stuff coming up for this college basketball season. Bet insurance tokens, college hoops odds boosts, my personal favorite, parlay odds boosts. So download the BetMGM app today.
But I think, and also, you're right, the Lance Jones addition to them saves him too throughout the course of the season. Because you got another guy, the wear and tear, and then just the pressure. It's like, hey, last year,
mental,
yes,
right? The mental pressure when they came after.
It's another guy where you attacked him. You had to attack him because there's nothing you can do with Zach Edey. Right? So now with Lance Jones there, he has a guy in the course of a game get off the that those are options they didn't have in the play. He just brings another dimension that anybody that knows it's just Braden Smith's the head of the snake, but when he has a counterpart like that you can say, all right, you bring it up, and he gets down to decide how he wants to attack the defense on the second level, on a reverse, instead of being a guy to get him in the offense. It's different, and coaches know when you're game planning against this, it's just hard.
And you know what else it is? You kind of alluded to this, Goodman. There's a saying, right? The best thing about freshmen is that they become sophomores, right?
No doubt.
And I do think that we are underrating the freshman leap that those guys could take. Most freshmen, right, if you think about it, if they have a good freshman year, they come back to school, a la Donovan Quinn, everyone's like, star next year, breakout player. That dude's going to be a monster. Never said any of that against
They look right? They kind of physically look the same. Mm-hmm. Right? So you look at them and you're like, all right, yeah, but again, their games have expanded. You can see it now. Fletcher was hurt. Fletcher was hurt last year, second half of the year. Painter said it when we were here a year ago, right? He was dealing with injuries.
I think it was a strained calf.
The other part I will say with Braden Smith is the chemistry now he has and understanding how to play with Zach Edey is different. Watch the passes he gave him tonight as opposed to flashback, even the passes that he gave Zach Edey at the end of last year. It's not the same.
His recall is going to be there. Now you're able to see last year it was pounded into Zach Edey, let's play and react off that. Then teams started attacking him defensively. And now he's able to draw on that experience about how I can attack that. How do I make the adjustment for what you game plan me? Because now you're going to have to game plan him as well as a part of that. And he has to score. Coach Brandon talked about that tonight. So it's just easier because, again, you get in that fast forward mode. And now with a guy like, he gets it going and now he get the Lance Jones and say, hey, all right, I can carry us for moments tonight. And they're going to need him when Zach Edey's out of the game.
All right, so we talked about this on Friday night at length at Cameron Indoor Stadium with Duke, right? Duke feels like they kind of have a problem at the four, right? Are you going to play Filipowski?
Are you going to play big or small?
Are you going to play Mark Mitchell? How are you going to deal with that spot? I feel like we can kind of have a similar – it's not the same situation, but we got to have a similar conversation about Purdue, right? Like, what are they doing at the four? What is the best answer? You said they got to make shots, right? What's the best answer for them long term?
I don't know where they go. I think that's just – every team has issues. Every team has concerns. Right now it's by committee. Who steps up and claims that spot?
Yeah. And it might be in practice.
It's going to have to
it might be something where every day in practice somebody asserts themselves and it's clear. Right now, you heard it from Peter. It is not clear.
No, it's going to be – right now it's by committee and opponents and how the opponents are playing are dictating which one of those guys are playing.
I want to see more out of Cam Hyde. I want to see more out of Hyde. I talked to Hummel, who's obviously seen this team a bunch. He's athletic and he can shoot it.
The freshman class in general is really good, but the freshman.
height he sat
Set last year.
He
He's
was
had
hurt.
no playing experience.
I know. I kind of feel like he might have the highest upside
yeah.
out of all these dudes. And that's kind of, to me, if you're Matt Painter, aren't you kind of going with that and maybe rolling the dice and seeing, hey, where can this – because if he does reach that potential, holy crap. Because someone's – again, I didn't love Colvin Red. I don't love him with Edey because I don't think he can stretch it enough.
Right.
And defensively, it's okay. It's not great. He can score, but the spacing in the paint to me worries me as well because I think he's best maybe from 12 and in.
Yeah, well,
Painter can't have it all. If he get a stretch forward, and who the hell's beating him? Like
Nobody.
I do think it'll be interesting if what he tends to lean towards, right? Do you want to play a bigger four-man and Caleb First or a Trey Kaufman-Rand, or do you want to play like four guards with Nathan Gillis, Myles?
I've never known a coach who rotation.
Yeah, listen, when we come back, it is time for the Q&A. We're going to be answering chat questions. I promise you, anything you write in the chat, I'm going to ask Jeff Goodman.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.